The Northwest Police have warned motorists to be on high alert when they travel between the N12, that's between Potchefstroom and Klerksdorp. This, some residents have barricaded the road with tyres and huge stones. Our reporter Sentleeng Lehihi joins us now on the line for the latest. Sentleeng, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for coming through. Talk to us about the latest. Now, a few minutes ago when we were speaking to you, some rubber bullets were being fired.
Absolutely. Good afternoon to you, Palesa, and our viewers. I must say tensions are high here on the N12 between Potchefstroom and Klerksdorp. We've got a very high police contingency here trying to keep, an eye on safety and ensure that motorists stay clear of this national road. We have seen community members since Monday embark on violent service delivery protests, demanding particularly housing and other services, including water and electricity. They're saying that they have been living in informal settlements for over 12 years and have had no commitment from local authorities to ensure that they are allocated much needed land and housing development. They have made it explicitly clear that they will intend to stay on this road, barricading it until they get the answers that they demand from the local authorities. Just a few minutes ago, we did in fact hear rubber bullets, and my colleague tried her best to seek shelter while she was shooting. The situation is quite tense right after the mayor, attempted to speak with the community. He was flanked by the MEC of Human Settlement, who also tried to appeal to communities to say that they would indeed try to allocate them the necessary land and houses, but they need a time frame of about 2 months to ensure that the land that they find is adequate and good enough to be settled in. As we recall that this area suffers from a lot of dolomitic rock, which makes much of the land here inhabitable and not adequate for human settlement. But for more, I'm joined by a community leader here that is going to explain to us what is it that they want as a community here.
Nna ke le motelipele actually ha ke motelipele rena o teng, but unfortunately o tshwere maobane, but now ke representa e se motelipele ha ra kgotsofala ke ntho e diragalang since re bereka le batho ba go cancel from April to May. Ba re tshepisa gore re emele di-vote di fete, after di-vote by June, before June fela re ka re kry-ile mabalo. Okay, re ba re bile le bona ra thusa mafatshe, re kry-ile mafatshe, the next day mafatshe a mangwe a tseile a file batho ba bangwe, the next rona re ba re okay fine, re ka se lwane le baagi ba bangwe ba ba batlang mafatshe a ka rona, re re thusa lefatshe le mo next to N12. Re ba gore ke yanong ba romela maponisa ba tlo go shoota bana, ba re shoota ba thunya bana, ba thunya motho o mogolo, re dula le bonkgono ba ipeng maponisa thunya ka di-tear gas, di-tear gas di affecta bagolo ba di hema. Ha re itse ka tsana re ka tsoga re latlhelwa ke bagolo ba rona gore ntho re kopanyela go tswa mo meyara rona, re kopile gore a re fe pleke ka mo a re segele mabala, re tla itlhagolela ke pheto ke tuma.
What he's explaining there is that they went to extreme lengths to work together with the municipality to ensure that they can identify land that they can occupy. But to their surprise, the land was not allocated to them, but other communities and other business interests. They say that worked to their disadvantage because now they're still cramped in the small informal settlements that they have to share with large numbers in one yard. They're saying that they have identified a place that they think is adequate for them right across the N12, but they've been refused access into that place, and when they did attempt to gain access into that area, that's when clashes with police began. And that Meyara unzaleha le mokhuruthamaga ba re requestile gore 2 months ba tla le nama hatsalona go reng le gana
because of ba entse yalo before ba re tshepisitse, so ha re sana tshepo mo go bona, ba re feitse, so ha re tlo go dumela ntho e buang ke meyara because o dula ntse a tshepisa batho gotlhe. So rona re batla go etsa go itela molao mo matsogong re iphelelele lefatshe.
Ntate is explaining there. My question to him was that the mayor and the MEC have attempted their best to actually appeal to them to be given at least a time frame of 2 months for them to provide this housing and land that is needed. But the community is saying through Ntate's voice that 2 months is too long. This problem has been persisting and should have been dealt with a long time ago. This is just the same rhetoric of empty promises that is continuing, whereas the community is left to its own demise. I'll explain to you now. The views and scenes I'm seeing right now is that the police are out here in their numbers. There's one Nyala, and I can count over 16 police vans. The number of police here far outnumbered about 20. The community is seated, trying to actually calm themselves after fleeing the flight of rubber bullet. We don't know how long the situation will persist, but it appears that the community is adamant. They say if they don't get the answers they want, they will continue their stance and occupation of the N12.
Yeah. Now, talk to us about the situation, Sentleeng, in terms of traffic, how it's been affected on the highway that runs through the province into Johannesburg.
Right now, I'll tell you that the entire stretch from Potchefstroom to Klerksdorp has been closed out. You will be forced to use an alternative road, but the high police contingency and traffic management is out here in its numbers. You will be directed to an alternative road on Blowbank. If you come around this way, trust the police. They will show you where to turn off and where to go. I would not advise any road user to attempt to go through this road because it is quite tense. You'll understand that, it is quite a number of groupings across the road. You could probably imagine a stretch of about 20 kilometers that is occupied in different places. So it is absolutely not advisable to attempt to use this road at this point.
All right, many thanks there to SABC News reporter Sentleeng Lehihi reporting live between Potchefstroom and Klerksdorp. That's on the N12, where the residents are demanding land allocation. Of course, the mayor and the MEC have been to the place promising to address their concerns within 2 months, but the residents really saying that they have made these promises before and they were never kept. So a reporter there saying that it's not advisable to use the N12 that's between Potchefstroom and Klerksdorp, driving through the northwest province into Johannesburg. That, of course, is a developing story that we're keeping a very close eye on, as we have seen, Peter, earlier on, that the residents went as far as hijacking an excavator and destroying that stretch of road.
Yeah, it's pretty scary scenes that we're seeing there. So please be careful on that stretch of road between Potchefstroom and Klerksdorp.